It's your boy DJ Wolf here again. I got something else on my mind. I was in a relationship with a young girl when I was in high school back in the 80s, in the early 80s, right? Girl was, I think she was half American and half Native Indian. She was fine as hell. And we're still in high school. She had got a part-time job working over at Metro General in Cleveland. Right, one local hospital over there. And I think it's called Metro Health something. But anyway, so she got it's over across town. So she got a job working over there. Right? And before she had got the job working over there, me and her was really, we were kind of close for a minute. So after a while, when she got that job, man, I noticed that she got a little bit more on the bourgeois side, to speak. You know, she kind of let it go to her head a little bit, you know, and our relationship eventually soured and tanked. And that's fine, you know, I learned a lesson from that. I learned that if the woman was really about me in the relationship, she wouldn't act that way in the first place. But that's another story, you know. So, but anyhow, I noticed over the years that when black women, okay, of course, let me clarify that, not all black women, they get these little jobs or these high-paying positions. They tend to think that the man that they're with may not be of the equal status. I've noticed that. I'm telling you, and they'll show it to you in a minute. Like for example, if I was to work with a woman who might be, I would say manager, or might be somebody who might outrank me a little bit, you know, and I ain't trying to get with her nothing, but I've seen situations where when I first started working in the district, right, I did this years ago. That was the first job I got when I got in the military. One of the first jobs I got. And there was a woman, you know, I think she was like a secretary. So I had just got there. So I didn't outrank anybody. So, you know, we got talking, and it was just friendly conversation. I said, it was like, you know, lunch, you know, because, you know, I wanted to find more about the job and all that. And she's like, oh, no, you know, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I didn't really take it personal, you know. But we were kind of bantering and talking and stuff, but I said, okay. I wasn't trying to ask her for a date and nothing like that, but I do know sometimes that you got black women who get these, you know, good jobs, and they'll be with a guy before they get with that good job, and that guy will be doing pretty good. He may not be doing the type of job you're doing, but he'll be making good money too. But she'll think somewhere along the lines that she actually has more of an upper hand on him, to a point where it's like, well, I don't need you. I need somebody equal or above me in terms of my pay scale or whatever, because I think you're beneath me. And you got women like that. Oh yeah. I'm starting to see more and more of them. And the more I see it, the less I can see why a lot of guys date white women. You know. And I truthfully, I fully understand it. You know. Maybe it's something about some white women who see, you know, you as just being a man wanting to be in a relationship versus a woman who worry about being in a relationship with you because of her status being a little bit in a job field a little bit higher than yours, just a little bit higher than yours, or whatever. Because if that's the case, it's not about love. It's about position. You know? And that's one of the many reasons why I can understand why guys, people of color don't date women outside the race. I fully understand it. Because even there was one time I did. You know? I dated women outside my race. I had a problem with it. Did I prefer that? Well, at the time, I guess I did, and then after a while, I didn't. But I think, in some respect, I'm going to give you an example. When I was overseas, when I was in Germany, I was military. I spent 2 years in the military over there. I dated several women over there, several German women. And one thing I found in common with them that's uncommon with our women here. Our women here, in general, and I'm talking about right across the board. I don't care what class they're in, whether they're mid-class, upper class, low class, whatever. They're more materialistic here and bourgeois. Even some of the poor communities are like that. I've seen it right out here in the DMV. I've seen a lot of that here. They're more bourgeois here. Okay? Trust me, I'll tell you for a fact. I know I can tell you some stories on it. When I was in Germany, I go out there. Of course, the women knew that I was a military guy. But at least they carried on conversations. At least they act like they were trying to get to know you. You know? American women, I could go to the similar clubs right out here and try to carry the same conversations with American women and got this. If they didn't find out that you were a specific ranking officer or whatever, they didn't want no part of you. Trust me on when I say that. Especially if they knew you were military. Because the first thing they'd ask you, what's your rank? If they found if you was anything below E5, they would not look at you. Yeah, they move on. Or what we say, carry on. They'd carry on and move on. You know? Over there, they didn't care. They just wanted to get to know who you were. You know? And I had much more enjoyable conversations with, at the time, German women than I did American women. American women are more about status all day long. You know? Now, I've never really dated American white women. I've dated a few of them. I haven't dated that many. You know, so. But what I'm trying to say is, our women talk about, we don't like it when y'all date women outside the race. Y'all need to be dating with y'all sisters. Y'all sisters need to show a little bit of appreciation for brothers who are out there trying to do something with themselves. You know? But a lot of y'all don't. I know years and years ago, this is one girl I was talking to, and I know she had one kid, and her baby daddy wasn't about shit. I'm trying to holler at her. This bitch wouldn't even look my way. And I was doing all right. I wasn't doing too great, but I was doing all right. I was making decent money. I was living at the time. Not like what I'm doing now, but at the time, it was, and she would give me time of day. You know. Our women are fickle like that, man. They're real fickle. You know. And it seems like you never can give them enough of what they want. You know? Like it's never enough. You can offer them different things and here and there and give them a piece of your heart. It'll never be enough. Because they always looking for that bigger thing. They're always looking for that big thing. The next big thing. In other words, you can give them one thing and they're all right for a minute. And then it's not enough. It's not, in other words, it's not the next biggest thing that they're looking to do. Trust me, I know that personally. There was a show I've been watching called 90 Day Fiancé. This chick from Russia, 20 years old, bad to the bone. You know, body is like crazy. she's dating this semi, and I ain't saying he's rich, but I mean he's a pretty well-to-do young man. This big portly guy, and the girl, since he's been with her, has erased. Literally was able to go on his account, on his iPhone account, and erase his iPhone account off his phone. All right, and she was a Russian. He was in the States. This was on the TV show, and she was then. Since then, was able to get her to buy. She was able to get him to buy her this multi-thousand. That was his diamond ring was worth quite a few $1,000s. And this expensive ass wedding dress and all of that stuff, and what is this fool doing? Oh. And she tends not to really give a damn about this guy. And I'm like, dude, you can't see right through her. His sisters was telling him to let her go, and she keep demanding more, expensive stuff, and he keeps simping on her every week. And oh, baby, don't leave me. I said, oh, dude, you want to punch him in his face. Dude, this girl about to walk all over you. He had got her a modeling gig and all of that, and she ready, she's extremely demanding. So I think there's a new episode coming up. I haven't had that. They posted a preview this morning. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I might keep you guys posted on that because it's an interesting show. And what it is, 90 Day Fiancé is about these guys and women who are trying to get green cards in America. Visas in America, and the only way they can get it, they have to get some special kind of visa in order to stay in the States, but that visa only lasts for 90 days, and if they want to stay longer than 90 days with that specific visa, they have to get married. So that's basically what the show's about, and the show is really entertaining television, and it's very good. It really is a lesson about what love, what people are challenged to about love and don't really know it. In other words, it's like I see a mirage of something that looks too good to be true, but I still think it's real. Well, that's what this is with this show, like 90 Day Fiancé. They actually bring those guys over from overseas on this, what they call K visa, and the K visa allow them to stay for 90 days, but you have to be married within that time if you want to stay longer. So that's my understanding. So okay, let's call it K2, but anyway, and it's interesting, like I said. And those people have to really decide, is it really love? Or is it really about them trying to get in the country, stay in the country? There's one guy, he's on there. He married this portly chick from my home state, Ohio, over in Sandusky. And I didn't think from once that he really was that serious about her. Never did. And I guess they were pen pals or whatever on internet. She met him on the internet and whatever, and then she brought him over, and they actually got married. And then somehow or another, he felt that she misled him because she was going to help him get a job and all that stuff and blah blah blah, and she wasn't working herself. And the next thing you know, he actually moved out and left, and he was trying to get her to get an annulment so he could stay in the States. Because if she had went ahead and filed divorce, he would have been deported. And then he got her to give the annulment or whatever. And he said, "Well, I'll be friends with you if you go and give me an annulment." And they became friends. Now she's stalking him. So that's another whole story. But it's an interesting show. But nevertheless, love. I don't think love has the same meaning. I think people just take love and use it to their advantage, not because it's really in their hearts. I think love is a word. It's probably one of the most missed words used on the planet. Your words on the planet. It really is a very missed word. It's a misused term. It is. Now, certain things is not, like money. Everybody loves money. You know, money is everything. You know, okay, money can be used to be the root of all evil. Money, it has been used to be the root of all evil many times. It's not necessarily the root of all evil for everything, but it's used to do evil. We all know that. It's also used to do good. And we know that as well. So, but my thing is this. Real love comes straight from the bone. You can't manufacture it. You can't buy it. You can't dress it up and call it your lover. You can't create it and say, "Oh, I love you." It has to come straight from the heart. It's from the bone. You know the bone when you go, like you said, meat falling off the bone. You get to the bone, you know, that's where the main part of the meat comes from. That bone. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, to make a long story short, it has to come straight from the inside, all the way deep down in you. It has to be something you feel. It has to be more than just a desire. To me, love is not a desire. It's something from the heart, something you feel that's genuine to you. You know? But like I said again, it's a very misused word. You know, I reference that to what's that song by what's that guy? Music Soul Child. I think he changed his name to something else. But anyway, every time I think about what I just said, I think about that song. That song actually is a very telling story about love and how it's been misrepresented throughout history, throughout generations, throughout life. And people will do or say anything to make you think that love is, or their love is real. And at times it's not. You know? Especially with people who are love-struck or softened by love. You know? Depends on certain kinds of love. But I just feel that it's just a misused word. And I don't think you should ever tell anybody that word unless you really mean it. Unless you know that person feels the same way about you as well. And even if you don't know, it has to come from your heart. That's all I need to say about it. Just give you something to chew on. Because I do think, for the most part, in our communities, I think it's an extremely misrepresented word. And until you know how to really love from within, you'll never learn how to love from within out. It's DJ Wolf. That's all I gotta say for right now. I want to say about this other stuff on the back burner.